We've all played basketball. You know when you shove somebody in the back that the ref's gonna blow the whistle and call the foul? Well, the ref didn't call the foul.
Say a word about a flagrant foul prior to going to break, by the way, after the supposed hard foul.
To prevent her from having the easy basket, but Caitlin Clark actually fouled Angel Reese because she was trying to take up for her teammate.
Did a single rebound turn into one of the most talked about moments in WNBA history? Fans were furious, social media was buzzing, and the referee's flagrant foul call on Caitlin Clark had everyone picking sides. But when Angel Reese finally spoke out about the incident, her response shocked everyone. What did she say, and why are fans still divided?
With some LeBron James-looking flops, if I ever saw them. By the way, Caitlin Clark, a triple-double, 20 points.
So Caitlin Clark is sitting there with her hands up like, you're gonna call that? So then, yes, she went and fouled Angel Reese.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Previously, when you see they cut off the play early, Angel Reese actually shoves Aaliyah Boston in the back to get a rebound.
ESPN, your anti-Caitlin Clark agenda on full display. Going on and on about how that needs to be a flagrant.
It all started during a high-stakes rebound. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were battling under the hoop when Clark's arm swung out, catching Reese mid-motion. The whistle blew, and the referees called a flagrant foul on Clark. That single call sent shockwaves across the internet, igniting debates that ranged from questionable officiating to personal rivalries. Fans argued over whether the contact was intentional or just an unlucky moment in the heat of the game, and honestly, the footage alone didn't provide easy answers. The backlash wasn't just about this one play, though. Many fans saw it as part of a larger problem: uneven officiating in the league. Some supported the referees, claiming Clark's swing was excessive and fit the criteria for a flagrant. Others fired back, accusing the refs of overreacting. The inconsistency didn't help. People began pointing to similar incidents, like Marina Mabrey's hard foul from last season. In that play, Mabrey's arm caught her opponent just as firmly, but the refs only called it a common foul.
Wow. It was not a flagrant foul with the intent to hurt somebody. And
Jason Whitlock, other than jealousy, what is Reese's motivation for animosity towards Clark? I said she's jealous AF. She sees the attendance.
Fans even started splicing together side-by-side clips of both plays, highlighting how similar the contact looked, but how different the judgment was. It only fueled the narrative that officiating in women's basketball often feels unpredictable at best, frustrating both players and fans. A deeper look shows this isn't an isolated issue. Officiating complaints in the league have been stacking up for years. According to a recent study, nearly 40% of surveyed WNBA players believed officiating inconsistencies directly impacted the outcomes of critical moments in games. High-profile commentators have also chimed in. One even argued, "The standards change game to game. It's hard to know how physical you're allowed to be anymore."
that the offensive player has a free lane to the basket. Now, before I get to why Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark fully,
the ratings, gate revenue, it's not close. She's a media-created rival. ESPN played right into it with that flagrant foul.
they're all super talented. But if we're going to talk about them, we have to talk about them like we talk about any other sport.
Social media amplified the chaos tenfold. Clips of the play spread like wildfire, with fans offering their hot takes. GIFs of Clark's arm swing racked up thousands of retweets. Some saw it as solid evidence of dirty play, while others insisted it was just an exaggerated reaction to a split-second basketball moment. As always, fan theories exploded in every direction as hashtags like #JusticeForCaitlin and #LetThemPlay started trending. It was almost impossible to scroll past it without forming an opinion. But as fans waged their online battles, the players themselves approached the moment with striking professionalism. Angel Reese later dismissed the incident as nothing serious. while Clark called it a strategic foul in her post-game remarks. Despite the fans seeing it as a flashpoint of drama, the players treated it as just another moment in a physical, competitive game. And that cool-headed view takes us to what Reese had to say about all the madness. And you won't want to miss her perspective.
Was that Caitlin Clark was actually reacting to a foul that should have been called on Angel Reese against Aaliyah Boston.
Angel Reese, boy, she's ate up with class, is she not? Wow. Standard operating procedure foul.
When the dust settled after the game, all eyes were on Angel Reese. Fans were bracing for a fiery reaction, but instead, Reese shrugged off the entire incident. In her post-game comments, Reese called it just basketball, brushing aside the heated debates swirling online. For someone who tends to play with bold energy, this calm response caught everyone off guard. Fans expected her to feed into the drama, but Reese wasn't interested. Her focus, instead, stayed on her performance and prepping for the next game. But if you go back and watch the game footage, her demeanor on the court tells a different story. When the flagrant was called, Reese's look wasn't neutral. She stood confidently, with that subtle stare fans have come to recognize as her signature attitude. It wasn't over the top, but it was enough to fuel theories online. Some fans interpreted it as defiance, while others saw it as Reese not backing down in the moment. That contrast between her composed body language in the game and her no-nonsense comments afterward kept the narrative alive, even though Reese herself wasn't fanning the flames. Then there's Caitlin Clark, who added her own perspective in the post-game interviews. Clark described the foul as just part of her strategy, calling it a strategic take foul to prevent Reese from scoring easily. It's a fitting explanation for Clark, who's known for her aggressive playing style and basketball IQ.
Angel Reese acted like she wanted to win an Oscar. I got nothing against any of these women's basketball players.
And it was the worst nightmare that the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese could have possibly imagined.
This wasn't the first time she made a move that walked the line between smart and contentious. Fans already know Clark doesn't shy away from playing tough. She's built a reputation for pushing limits, so her statement about it being strategic seemed like business as usual. The professionalism of both players stood out here. While social media was ready to pit them against each other in some dramatic rivalry, neither player took the bait. Instead, they handled the situation with maturity, seeing it as just another part of the game. Yet, the passion about this supposed feud didn't come out of nowhere. There's history here, specifically the now iconic "you can't see me" taunt from last year, which fans interpreted as a jab between the two. Even though the players themselves moved on, fans continued fixating on those moments, adding layers to a rivalry that exists more outside the game than within. Moments like these prove one thing: the intensity and excitement in women's basketball have reached a whole new level. Players are staying focused while fans are dialing up the drama, and it's pushing the sport into the spotlight like never before. What's happening here isn't just about a foul or a heated rivalry. It's about the rise of women's basketball as a sport that demands attention. Think about it.
I mean, that was a big nothing. Wow. Especially after everything that Caitlin Clark dealt with last year.
But I do know why they're talking about the aftermath of the foul, which, by the way, was a routine. You gotta make them earn it.
A single play sparked debates, headlines, and viral moments, showing just how invested fans have become. Players like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark aren't just athletes, they're driving forces behind this growth, handling the spotlight with professionalism and focus. If moments like these fuel this much energy, imagine where the game is headed. The sport is thriving, and now's the time to support it. Women's basketball is just getting started. Don't miss it.